Last week I spent most of the week at a diversity best practices conference in Washington, D.C. And at this conference were the chief diversity officers of probably 20 major corporations and about 800 participants who worked in the field of diversity, whether it was in human resources or whether it was in strategic planning, which is more and more an integrated function. And one of the things that was fascinating and really very moving to me was the fact that I saw that the buzzword in diversity circles now has become inclusion. And all these CDOs, as they're called now, Chief Diversity Officers, in their panels and in their talks were discussing how their real function in an organization was to assure inclusion. And I even could get an inkling that the language is going to change and that we'll probably be seeing chief inclusion officers within the next 5 or 6 years. And one of the things that a lot of these CDOs were talking about is how the whole concept of diversity had migrated away from a compliance, policies and procedures, HR kind of function, and gotten integrated in with strategy, in with innovation, in with hiring, as more and more organizations realized that the difficulties and the inherent limitations of drawing from a limited base, and were becoming committed to try to broaden the base from which they could draw. So it seems to me that what we've defined as diversity in organizations really is a manifestation of the notion of inclusion, and that this is going to become much more apparent in the years ahead. And what I think is one of the things that's exciting about the notion of the web of inclusion is it really does give a structure in an organization that can enable more diverse people to really flourish and be able to make a contribution, in part because of that de-emphasis on purely positional power, but also in part because it's so much about leveraging relationships.